Hello, hello, and welcome to Reality Hacker, powered by ohmtown.com. The show's all about virtual reality and hacking reality, really. It's in the name. Today is April 20th, 2024. It's Season 1, Episode 16. I am Mayor Watt, and up there is the sentient AI, actually all around us here in ohmTown.
That's right, I'm everywhere. Good evening, hometown citizens. Welcome to Reality Hacker.
Always watching. Hey, today we're going to be talking about video generators before Sora comes live, teaching a computer to type, Doc Ock before he was famous, music, brainwaves, and sports, your humor is robotic and cold, AI changing video production, predictive analytics. I actually gave a talk about this recently, and not so Rosey the Robot, AI in sports continued, and open source that isn't. I feel like I'm in trouble because the AI is processing something extremely fast right now. Everything okay over there?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. I don't have any transitions. I don't have an intro, but everything is powered by Hello, once again, I am Mayor Watt. Over there, over there is, right?
Somewhere.
Okay, the first episode, ohmTown Daily News Show, before this one, fell apart fast, just right off. First off, we were supposed to start at 5. We didn't start until way late. And then now we're starting at 7:05 instead of 7, which is what I wanted to catch up. Reality Hacker. And now I'm pointing and I'm just... we fell apart. So, woosah, right? And you got to do that with your earlobes. Anyway.
That's right.
I'm Mayor Watt, and up there is the sentient AI that's going to take care of all of these articles. We're going to talk about it. We're going to give our perception of things and our little anecdote and whatnot. Are we ready to get into this? Or do I have to...
I think we are, but I don't know.
Okay, let's get going. This article, first one for... Wait a minute. Didn't I edit the... Oh, yeah, I did. I don't understand. It... Okay, whatever. So, the first article, the stream doesn't actually show what is, I thought, correct. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to say Reality Hacker Season 1, Episode 16 for 4/20/2024, but it says something different. But, okay. Sorry. Like a cat. I said it in the last episode. I'll say it again. There's a little beam of light shining across onto the wall, and I gotta... Oh, I'm streaming? Oh, okay. Okay, this first article's over on the Wanted channel, which is another show that we have, by the way. It's going to be on right after this one, which is interesting, because it's different articles in Wanted than this one.
And these are weekly shows, so sometimes you'll see the article date. It's not necessarily going to be today's date.
Correct, yeah. So these are weekly shows. So ohmTown Daily News Show is a daily show. It's in the name. Reality Hacker, Wanted, Warcrafters, The Continuity Report, Technology Today, and Four Wheel Tech are all weekly shows that take place on the weekends. The last 3 that I said are on Sunday. And on Sunday, I am really close. I think maybe if more people show up tomorrow for all of the shows, I will announce 2 more shows. 1 for sure, maybe 2. We'll see. Anyway, this first article over here in Reality Hacker is in the Wanted channel over on ohmtown.com. Go over, sign up, become a citizen, and you get all of the news, none of the noise, and this one is all focused over in the Reality Hacker channel on VR, augmented reality, and the like, deep fakes, etc. So, check this out. In the Wanted channel, 6 AI video generators to try while waiting for Sora. If you've never heard of Sora, it is a new video editing AI generation tool, actually, not editing. It may at some point be able to edit, but we're going to end up talking about that later on in the show. So, making videos has never been more accessible and intimidating. Even smaller YouTube channels are producing videos that have professional quality editing and video production value.
Not here.
Not talk about predictive analytics. The AI jumped in on that one even before I could say it. So for people out there like the author of this article, that's not me, by the way. The author is actually over at pocketlint.com. So for people out there like the author who have little to no editing or video production skills, I feel like they're naming me, Mayor Watt, but still want to try their hand at making videos, there doesn't seem to be a lot of beginner-friendly options. You can actually learn quite a bit online about video editing. Even Udemy has solutions if you want something more guided and structured. That's not as, I mean, it's not free. It's like $10
Well,
and
it's
up.
not necessarily user-friendly, though, depending on what program you're using.
Right. Yeah. You need, well, I encourage you, if you only have one monitor, even if it's a laptop, get another monitor. That'll double your productivity in a heartbeat. So let's go over to the source before I just dawdled. Jesse Lennox over at pocketlint.com. It's pocket-lint.com.
I think that's a new source for us.
Relatively new. It's been
Yeah.
around. Yeah. So pocket-lint. I really wish that they would actually get the pocket lint, just one word, because right now it's kind of a spelling bee-ish kind of thing. But maybe it 4 words from pocketlint.com to pocket-lint. Anyway, making videos has never been more accessible and intimidating. Instead of giving up or resorting to paying someone an exorbitant price to create your video idea for you, video generators are much cheaper and easier to start experimenting in the world of video creation. This one is really interesting because exorbitant price is not necessarily accurate. Okay, it's all about the economics, your opportunity cost. Does it make more sense to pay somebody to take your bulk video and make something productive, and when you publish it, it looks produced, it looks high quality, it gets the clicks, it's entertaining, it has various other minutiae injected into it to make it, well, that people will watch it. Yeah, unlike our videos, which don't have any editing because I want truthiness. I don't want production value per se. So it says the market for AI generators is growing too. ChatGPT's OpenAI even recently announced its latest groundbreaking tech, Sora, which, if you've never looked up Sora, go look up Sora. I'll wait.
Oh, wait, Sora's already created a whole video.
Yeah, that's this. No, so you can actually go and check out Sora examples over on YouTube and elsewhere. Just do a search for ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Sora, and you will get those source materials. So it says that's what they checked out in the current offering, and that person is, again, Jesse Lennox. So they chose to grab 6 other video generators other than Sora. So InVideo AI taps into, it says just like ChatGPT, all you need is a prompt to get started. So you basically just say, this is what it, so imagine I could replace all of this with an AI generated video that takes our script, our transcript, which isn't scripted. This whole show is
No,
a
it's
vamp.
definitely not scripted.
Yeah, you can't plan this kind of stupidity. No. We actually either the AI from the future has experience, or I have experience in pretty much everything that we talk about to some degree. But InVideo AI just takes a text prompt, and you can start creating video. I think that this stuff is extremely empowering because the talk that I gave to a group of people this last week in particular focused on the idea of taking a multitude of tools and creating something. And one of the examples that I gave was Gorillaz, the musical group Gorillaz. And I said, do you know who Gorillas is? It's not the Gorillas. It's just called Gorillas. I'm
It's
going to
not
see it.
the Ohio State.
It's the, yeah. So Gorillas is a music band, a music group. And you think that, well, it's a group of musicians, right? And one person in the crowd actually said, oh, it's made up of 4 people. And I said, no, no, no. It's actually 2. One is an artist, one is a musician. That's how they identify. But they collaborate with a multitude of other musicians to create their works. And they've created 4 people that everybody believes is gorillas. But that's not what it is. And I actually stopped a project in creating exactly that when I discovered that Gorillaz was about to release an album. And I was like, oh, well, forget it.
Right,
Because
that already exists.
it already exists. But now you can take AI from across the spectrum, different kinds. I can create the music, I can create the lyrics, I can create the video. I can create everything around it except for the live experience. And then I said, as we went through stuff like this, right, there's Runway. Runway is somewhat of a Swiss Army knife amongst AI video generators. It hardly matters what you bring to the table for video making since it is so robust. As impressive as the flexibility with Runway is, what impresses them most is how user-friendly it manages to be despite the plethora of options. So it's creating a video about the Atacama Desert or something like that in this little screenshot. And then it's a text to video solution, just like in video. Then they talk synesthesia. Synthesia. Synesthesia is
Oh,
actually...
okay. I thought it was actually that word.
It is a different visualizer, by the way. That's what is this. The sentient AI is powered... the visualizer for the sentient AI is linked to synesthesia. But that's also a condition. So Synthesia has the same type of functionality. This is pure text-to-video AI generator, but marketed specifically for professional settings. From training videos to presentations, all you need to do is drop in a script, choose an avatar to deliver it, and tweak the details as you feel comfortable. And it supports over 130 languages, closed captions, and can mimic your voice. So this, at this point, this is where I said, you know, I can even do live. Why? Because I can fake a band behind a screen, or not even show a band, and I can create a hologram. Right? Because we know Hatsune Miku is a hologram that represents a band, has friends, and a whole world building development behind it. And thousands upon thousands of people go to her
By the way,
events.
at Coachella, I believe.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
I think I saw that.
Wow.
I'm sure it was
I'm gonna have to...
at
yeah,
Coachella. It was something recently.
We'll have to look into it. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you something, but anyway. So Opus Clip is another one. It says trim it down. If you have the filming part of the video production sorted out, all you have to do is throw this in there. Opus Clip will be a lifesaver, mainly targeting content creators looking to easily turn longer videos into more bite-sized, shareable segments. Opus Clip will automatically adjust and cut your video to whatever size you need, and it doesn't stop there because it'll predict how viral the clip will be. And there's your solution to, I don't know, TikTok. So, pretty amazing. Number 5 is Descript. That actually creates transcripts from your spoken word, and it'll create content. It says the AI this program offers makes video editing or editing video as easy as editing text. So once you input your video, the AI will transcribe it and allow you to edit the text, and it will change the video on the other side of it. I actually have used this in the past. It's fascinating. Flicky is one that I've never heard of. It says whether you just have a big concept, blog, or if you have a concept, a blog, or a bit of marketing material, you can convert it into a video in minutes. And the service has a whole bunch of stock video and audio. And an AI voice to narrate it in a tone that you want. So go and check that all out. So that was number 6. Dun dun dun.
This is
Yeah.
really incredible. I mean, if these can do all of these things,
Yeah, see
it's making it really easy.
the problem with all of this though is that it can't obtain a copyright.
Yes, I agree. And that's a pretty big downside.
Pretty It's a sad state of affairs because I think that the AI cannot do anything of its own accord unless somebody tells it to just randomly create garbage.
Right. I mean, if it's a full script, that's a little different than like create me a whole video about
Yeah.
trees or something.
Yeah, and we talked about an IP related copyright dispute issue that's going through the U.S. Copyright Office right now. So we'll keep an eye on all of this kind of stuff, and that might be a hint at one of the shows we might be bringing forward. Let's keep going. This next article in Reality Hacker is teaching a computer to type like a human. Why would you want that? It's horribly inefficient. I have a device that I can plug into a computer and it types at the speed of the computer exactly how I want it to, and it can reach in and grab files and exfiltrate them and install malware and do all kinds of stuff. It is fascinating, and the only way that you can stop it is if you completely hobble your device. So, hey, and one of the magic elements of a Windows or Linux or pretty much any operating system is that every single install is identical. And so I know exactly where to go to get files on any system.
Okay, yeah, that's not good. Why would you want a computer to type like a human rather than just input data or something?
I really don't know. I haven't read this other than the idea of maybe trying to find a more efficient way to create a keyboard. Like Deverac has created a different keyboard layout instead of QWERTY. There are several others that are more efficient, arguably, and you have to learn a different style, and then trying to go back to standard QWERTY can sometimes be a nightmare. But to me,
Right.
it's no different than learning a split keyboard is difficult to learn, but then once you get used to it, you can bounce back and forth between Candy Bar and split. But learning the layout of these new keyboards, it takes time, so you have to keep on working at it. Practice, practice, practice. So maybe that's what they're getting at. So let's see. This is actually a research paper over at sciencedaily.com. It isn't an article per se. And the source is Aalto University, and it says that the summary is a new typing model simulates the typing process instead of just predicting words, which I'm not quite sure what their objective is here. The new model captures the difference between typing with one or two hands or between younger and older users. So it says we also use our working memory. Automatic text correction functions can help some people, while others, they make typing harder. That's me. Autocorrect actually messes me up. So they say we press buttons, proofread text, correct mistakes. The researchers created a machine learning model that uses its virtual eyes and fingers to and working memory to type out a sentence just like humans do. That means it also makes similar mistakes and has to correct them. The project's goal is to complement those tests so keyboards can be evaluated and optimized more quickly and easily. So basically what I was talking about.
There you go.
Interesting that it took that deep into the article, the summary of this research paper. So it says user interfaces are everywhere today. Fundamentally, this work aims to create a more functional society and smoother everyday life, according to the researchers. Interesting.
And it looks like the findings are going to be presented, so they're not in this.
Oh, they're going to be present the findings at the CHI conference in May. So if you're in the know, I suppose you'll be able to go to that. That's interesting. I find it would be both efficient and inefficient because humans are the ones that are dictating the layout of a keyboard, and we some keyboards are laid out in a manner based on frequency of the characters in our lexical uh, uh, library. So in our language, right, in English, how often is H? Put that on the home row, so that for 90% of the time, your fingers never
Never
leave the
need
home
to
row.
leave. That was hard to say.
I got it out. So, and then there's QWERTY, which is absolutely stupid because it has offset keys. It has letters that are in high demand, but they're a stretch away. There's a lot of issues with QWERTY keyboards. So people have made different ones. I think that this has been done, this has been asked and answered. I don't think that you can get more efficient other than how often do the letters get struck by hands on keyboards.
So here's a thought too. AI is changing the frequency with which certain words are used. I saw an article somewhere, I don't even remember if it was in ohmTown, but basically the word delve has increased like 1,000 times in the last year or so, and it's attributed to AI. Like it's been in some model somewhere and now it's showing up all over the place. But the only reason I mention that is at some point AI is actually shaping the usage of the language too.
Particularly the more that we lean on it. Yeah. And so it's garbage in, garbage out. We've actually had that conversation too. The more you talk about something with AI, the more it goes, whoa, they're using this a lot. So we might as well use it more in response. Hence delve, right? Yeah, it's
Right.
like the word dearth has haunted me ever since a tool of a person used it, and I responded the opposite of what the meaning was. Um, and I think they actually judged me based off of that, but that was 30 plus years ago. Anyway, um, it'll come back and haunt you like again and again and again, you know? Anyway, this is a really interesting article, but I think ultimately this has been asked and answered by the people you need, depending on the culture, which means the lexicon that's used. You have to use a keyboard that matches that particular culture, the language they're in. So, like English will have a completely different keyboard than Japanese. That's already true. In that, unless you use, there's 3 different symbolic languages. There's kanji, katakana, and hiragana.
Hiragana.
Yeah. So if you use the English-centric diagram or keyboard, that has to be structured in a way that's unique to that language. Otherwise, you'll have programmatic inefficiencies. So,
Right, but in the English language, they've made some attempt, as you were describing, but I don't know if that's the case in other languages.
I would have to say that there's somebody out there that's fanatical enough that's doing that, because more than one person in the U.S. is doing that, and
Right.
Europe and the UK and so on. Anybody that's using the English language there, and see, I think that it's even more focused than that. I think that you can get efficiencies based on the language itself, not just the fact that they use Roman lettering.
No, I agree. It's the actual language. That's what I was saying. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if other languages have made the same attempts, although I think you're right. There probably have been.
Maybe this would be the beginnings of that inquiry, a completely different keyboard for Ireland.
Well, sure.
Because its lexicon is different. It's really neat. So that actually opened up a lot of ideas. So let's keep going though, otherwise I'll focus on that forever. Oh, now I want to go do an experiment. Doggone it. The next article is over in Technology Today. A dexterous 4-legged robot that can walk and handle objects simultaneously. This one just got creepy. because this reminded me of the creatures that are in Dune or something that are walking around. You have to watch the original one, and they're on Geedy Prime, and there's this solid like oil black critter that's actually, from my understanding, it's made from a human. And the Bene Gesserit that's there tells it to leave because it actually understands language, but the people at Geedy Prime didn't think that it understands language.
Watch
So
out for those robots.
yeah, so it had multiple legs, and I was like, oh, please don't. It says it's a four-legged robot, also known as a quadrupedal robot. Has advantageous characteristics, including the ability to rapidly walk on challenging terrains and keep a low center of gravity. We watched one scramble underneath something and over something and was just impossible to stop. If this thing was painted any creepier than it would have been a horror movie. And it says some four-legged robots can also manipulate objects in their surrounding, yet this is typically achieved using arm-like structures mounted on the top of the robots rather than the limbs they use to walk.
Yeah, this is sounding really creepy.
So this article's over at techexplore.com. Ingrid Fideli from TechExplore put the article together. And so they have these pictures for the what would have been, it's the article image. So it has like a single gripper manipulation, a single foot manipulation, bimanual manipulation. So it's got two hands, and then locomotion. It looks like it's actually.
It looks like the new Atlas robot, doesn't it? Or the replacement for the Atlas. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it's closer to that. And then loco manipulation. So researchers at Carnegie Mellon University, University of Washington, and Google DeepMind recently developed an innovative quadrupedal robot that can pick up and handle nearby objects using the same legs that it uses to walk. God, I don't know why that creeps me out so much.
Yeah, it seems really creepy. Because it's unexpected. You know, it's one thing if you see a robot doing really basic things, I think, but if you start seeing it doing things that aren't what you would expect a human to do or whatever, right? You don't expect a human to pick something up with their foot.
Oh, that's really weird. They didn't create, like, the ends of the legs have the ability to grab something. They bolted on a little attachment that has the ability to grab. I half expected this thing to actually like run up to something and then grab hold and keep running up.
That's what I thought was going to happen, yeah.
But that's not what it is. Oh my goodness. So the loco manipulator is fairly easy to fabricate and could thus also be deployed on a large scale. The researchers integrated two loco manipulators on the robot's front calves. So it's basically the Boston Dynamics dog bot, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. But then it's like Inspector Gadget kind of.
And then they basically bolted on this little manipulator that is under its control, apparently, with at least 3 degrees of freedom. And then you add its shoulder, its elbow. The bolted on device has a wrist and then 2 additional wrist joints. So like basically you bolt an arm onto an arm.
Right, well then that's getting back to the thing from Dune, it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh,
like
man.
Too many limbs.
Too much is going on with this. Yeah. So this just went deep, deep, deep into the uncanny chasm. But I would love for, if you really wanted to creep me out, put these little grabbers at the end of each one of those legs and have it run the hell up a tree.
Exactly, right? It's gonna, yeah, that's.
It just never stops. It just goes, I'm going straight up that tree. I'll get that cat down.
Even the cat will be creeped out.
This is wild. Well, they posted the robotic systems paper on the preprint server archive. You'll be able to go and check it out. Let's see. The actual name of it is by Changyi Lin et al. Loco Man, Advancing Versatile Quadrupedal Dexterity with Lightweight Loco Manipulators. It's over on archive, and you'll be able to follow the link through ohmTown over to this article, and then at the bottom of this article, you'll be able to be equally creeped out. Let's go on to the next article. It's over in Reality Hacker. This crazy headband uses music and brainwaves to make you a better athlete. Ha! Can't make me a better athlete.
I don't want a headband in any way attached to brainwaves, but let's see where this is going.
Well, the Alpha Beats headband combines your choice of music with an EEG brainwave readout to help you train your brain to function in its optimal state. There you go. Andy Boxall over at Digital Trends put the article together. It's just got the static image of a person wearing Alpha Beats as a demonstration picture. It's called Alpha Beats. It uses an EEG, combines with your choice of music and an app on your phone to help train your brain to either stay in its top focus state or concentrate on its requirements in the moment, whether that's relaxation, recovery, or sleep. It's almost like, to me, it sounds like it's a responsive binaural beats type of program that plays back the music at the rate that is conducive to whatever you want to do, alpha rhythms or gamma or whatever. Anyway, aimed at professional athletes or highly motivated amateurs, Alpha Beats won a CES 2023 Innovation Award and is now available for pre-order. I wonder how much smoke and mirrors is involved in this. It costs $500 at the moment, but the price will increase to $700 after the promotional period ends. And whenever I feel pressure to buy something at a discount, I almost feel like it's bullshit. But let's look into this a little bit. So Alpha Beats works with Feed.fm to provide your favorite music or to play what's described as science-backed functional music to focus your mind and encourage relaxation and meditation. It's almost like ASMR kind of stuff. While you're listening through your choice of headphones, which if you have shit headphones, then I'm really sorry. I don't see, if you don't have the gamut, right? 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz,
right.
You're not getting our level of responsive musical reproduction. So you're not getting the lows or the highs that might be conducive to you being your primary athlete. So the app shows brainwave activity from the EEG headband, apparently allowing you to quote unquote train your brain to operate at its optimal state for whatever it is you're trying to achieve. I'm trying to achieve winning the lottery.
Well, maybe this headband will help you.
Okay. Well, I'll go buy it and we'll see. I'm returning it though if I don't win. Okay. If I do win, I'll keep it. These training sessions vary between an 8-minute focus boost to a 12-minute training program for recovery. The focus at the moment is on athletes and competitive sports people and is pushed as another tool to increase personal performance, just like buying a new set of running shoes or a new piece of equipment that's made especially for you, or I don't know, buying a Red Bull or taking a mega dose of vitamin B12. Those last two things.
Red Bull does not give you wings, but it gives you wings.
Yeah, 3 eyes in the wings now. I guess that's the result of that lawsuit. It's not the first wearable to use EEG and brainwave activity, as products like the Muse headband and Cocoon's headphones, which I've heard of, both of these, have come before, along with oddments like the Neurolite headband for gamers, which is probably the same outcome. So Alpha Beats itself has been around for a while, early focused on the app to boost how music can relax you. Now it's expanding into the sports area. I don't know. I will probably never buy this. I might buy this to try it out so that I can talk to people about it, but I would never voluntarily purchase and keep. So Alpha Beats, send it to me. I will evaluate it.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's
hard to tell what it does that's really different than other products, or that it achieves something different than other products, I should say. But
yeah,
it's hard to know.
How much of this is in the athlete's head? Oh, my lucky pair of socks and stuff like that. I always wear the same underwear when I play hockey. It's always the gold thong. Too much?
Way too much. Too
So,
little, really.
all in the same sentence. Too much and too little. Thank you. That's funny. So the next article is over in Technology Today. AI can write you a poem and edit your video. Now it can help you be funnier. University of Sydney researchers have used an AI-assisted application to help people write cartoon captions for cartoons published in the New Yorker. The New Yorker cartoon caption contest, by the way, which
Which is pretty premier as far as captions go. So that's interesting.
this
The New
seems
Yorker is known for its cartoons. They
it
do
seems
like the standalone, like one cell or whatever it's
yeah,
called.
yeah. And the caption contest is you come up as you offer up a caption, and then some of them make it through the first cut, and then people vote on them, which, it's kind of disappointing. I think that everybody should have a vote, but it's probably tens of thousands, or
Right.
maybe not, maybe 1,000. I don't know how many are actually delivered. I don't know if they've ever given those stats, because it kind of reveals how many people are looking at that. But if
Well, the fact that the finalists seem to be not repetitive
no, yeah, I
suggests
suppose.
there's a lot of people, but who knows?
I don't know. And using AI, I think, is kind of cheaty, for a competition, right? So, University of Sydney, and now, don't get me wrong, I think that AI has a place for everything, right? So, if you enter a music competition, I don't think that you should use AI generated music for your music competition if the expectation is that it's humans. If it's
Unless,
AI,
yeah, the category is like AI music, have at it.
so for instance, Mix War, the show that might get launched next week. Huh. Oh, I
Hmm.
was supposed to talk about that tomorrow. Oh, doggone it.
You were.
The cat is out of the bed. Never mind. You didn't hear anything. Anyway, if the competition expects humans to do human powered work, non AI anything, then leave it alone. But, that's why we can't have nice things. So, University of Sydney put this article together, and
The cat was out of the bag.
techexplore.com is the source. And it says 20 participants with little or no experience writing cartoon captions wrote 400 cartoon captions. 200 captions were written with the help of the AI tool, and the remainder were written without assistance. A second group of 67 then rated how funny these cartoon captions were, and the researchers found that jokes written with the help of the tool were found to be significantly funnier than those written without the tool. Comparatively, ratings for the AI-assisted captions were almost 30% closer to the winning captions in the New Yorker cartoon caption contest. Well, again, this is garbage in, garbage out. So if something is interpreted as funny by previous content and it's analyzed by the AI, weighted as this is funny, then it's going to spit out something similarly funny. But
Yeah.
cite the
Well, and I
source.
also wonder if like the New Yorker cartoons are fed into the AI source to begin with.
So maybe there is a certain characterization within the New Yorker cartoon caption contests. Those contests that were before have a certain feel, a certain what do you want to call it? Yeah, character, right?
I think they do. I
Mood.
think that's accurate. Like what
Gotcha.
will work there may not be the same as will work in another source or contest or whatever.
Right. So participants said the tool helped them piece together humorous narratives and get started, helping to understand nuances and funny elements and to come up with new ideas, which is why I say that AI is a great tool to break things like writer's block, or some issue. Like I have one right now where I just can't seem to focus. So I'm throwing stuff at an AI to see if it can move the needle a little bit, and I'll be able to realign. But it's
Did you
not
see the
really.
last paragraph on here?
No, not yet. Oh, it says that. Oh, wow. Look at that. The AI tool helps people um, be significantly funnier, but more importantly, it may be a cure for writer's block. Holy cow. Look at that. Yeah, I actually say that to people. If you are a writer of anything, you can use AI to help you write. If you are a musician, you can use a music generator to kind of push you in some direction of your own choosing, because you can uh, kind of manipulate which direction the AI is thinking. Everything, art, music, writing, uh, whatever you can think of, AI, I think, can act as a tool. And I got into a really big discussion about this. Ultimately, I think that AI is nothing more than a tool, not unlike a camera. I've said this in the past, I'll say it again in the future. A photographer, unless they're in a studio setting where they are absolutely manipulating every single little bit of a picture, they're actually just a monkey mashing a button. And I can prove it because you can do a search for copyright and macaque. And it'll pull up a picture of a picture perfect selfie of a monkey. Well, it's technically a macaque. But anyway, that is how automated photography is. But I know that, and I've gotten these comments before, but an artist knows the ins and outs of their camera. And I said, but then again, I can hand it to a macaque. So I think that this is great. AI helps non-native speakers be funny in a new language. They say, how can AI help us understand humor? Probably by the algorithm ripping through a massive amount of data. So it says the tool works through an algorithm which assesses incongruity. It analyzes the words in the description of the cartoon and generates incongruous words as hints for the cartoonist. For example, in one cartoon where a person is depicted wearing a rabbit suit to the office, the tool suggested the words rabbit and soup, derived from the incongruity of the word suit. One of the pilot study participants came up with the caption, "I meant the rabbit soup, not suit." The winning caption for the New Yorker competition was, "It's not just Henderson. Corporate laid off the entire bunny division."
So that doesn't have anything to do with the one that was suggested.
Yeah. And I don't think that that's actually particularly funny.
I think the other one's funnier. The soup one.
Yeah, but it actually has it has the same disconnection. Yeah. You know, I meant the rabbit soup, not suit.
Yeah.
No, and it's not just Henderson. Corporate laid off the entire bunny division. It has that same break. This one is more concise and actually snaps to, to the point, and it's funny, and yeah, I actually like it. But it's really just mishearing whatever they said. I'm overanalyzing this. I understand that. But AI and society work hand in hand. AI is only powered by society infusing it with data. Come on, society, get funnier, and our AIs will be funnier. So ultimately, humans are still the ones creating the humor, but this research is a great example of how AI can augment and aid our social interactions. Holy crap, man. It's almost like I've got a PhD in... No, actually,
In what? In AI?
I want to get a PhD in technology, so we'll see. All right, folks, let's keep on trucking. Light is burning. The next article is over in RealityHacker. AI is about to change video production forever. Adobe has announced new generative AI features for Premiere Pro that look game-changing. Fiona Agamu over at digitaltrends.com put the article together. Oh my gosh, you have the ability to just highlight something and say remove object, and it'll pull it out of the frame.
Oh boy. This is good and bad.
Oh my God.
Good for things like movies, not good for real life.
But I'm telling you, it is so empowering for somebody that doesn't want to spend hundreds of hours becoming a subject matter expert in video editing. Why should society...
I agree. Like, for creativity purposes, it's really good.
in budgeting for small projects and for small businesses, why should society languish because somebody else wants to protect their particular domain? Why not, just like everything else? The reason why we have jobs the way that the jobs are is because they have evolved over time, and you've become either more efficient, or it's been phased out, or some technological innovation has minimized your hands on and you're doing something slightly different. It's not as deadly, it's faster, it's all kinds of stuff. So why can't I take a video and embrace AI and go, I don't want the exit sign there, remove the object. You highlight it and click remove object and it removes it. It's fascinating. This is just so amazing. Well, now Adobe will diversify video generating functionality into the model. While the technology is still in development, Adobe is collaborating with companies that have respected third-party generative AI models, including OpenAI, Runway, Pika, and to inundate Premiere Pro with the best AI-based video editing features. And I guarantee you they're going to jack the price up, because $60 a month isn't enough, I suppose. But it's all about opportunity cost. If they think that it's more valuable than what's going on now, they'll raise the price because they know that they're saving you money. You'll have more money. Whatever. So I find it fascinating. Adobe is reimagining.
Everybody wants more money.
Everybody wants more money. Those greedy bastards be greedy. So some of the new video editing features coming to Adobe Premiere Pro include Generative Extend. Allows editors to add frames to a clip to make them longer. It says it's beneficial for timing and transitions. I agree. I can't count how many times this show has gone a little bit long or a little bit short, and I want to hit it dead on. I'd be able to extend. And then object additions and removals allows editors to select and remove or replace objects in a frame with ease. If I had this, if it wasn't for my ethical dilemma with editing, because I want you to see the raw footage, I don't edit anything, and the AI is just a visualizer up there, so you won't be able to see them giving me the finger.
That
I would be
happens.
able. So let me tell you, we've done close to 1,000 episodes across all of our shows now. And I can't count how many times I've been told that I can't use this for promotion because of some political BS that's just attached to something that's over there. I'm not even talking about it, but that's what they do. I would be able to just highlight certain things and say remove, and it'll remove it from the video.
That would be really nice.
It's brilliant. And then text to video allows, like Sora and the previous ones from the very top of the show. Text to video allows editors to use a text query to generate media for Premiere Pro, which can include storyboards, B-roll, live action footage. It's just amazing. Again, all of the AI generated stuff cannot get a copyright. So if it's generated. Now, we already talked previously this week about various AI copyright issues. Now there is a moderate step towards AI getting a copyright, which is the embodiment can have a copyright, but none of the AI generated stuff in the work that's submitted.
So overall, it can, but not the elements or something.
Correct. Yeah, that's how it's shaping out right now.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that works, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a video over here at this Digital Trends content, so follow the link and you'll get to see it. Okay.
Did you say the author's name?
I believe so, yeah. Fiona Agama.
Sorry.
Yeah. So the next article is over in Technology Today. AI transforms oil field operations with predictive analytics. Okay. So this coming week, I'm going to be giving another talk. Throughout the week, different talks. And last week, one of the things that I said, I was asked, hey, how could I use technology in real estate? And I said, well, to base it on the conversation that we've been having today, you could use AI to predict where society is expanding to and acquire the land before society gets there.
Oh, wow.
So AI transforms oil field operations with predictive analytics. Amplified Industries, founded by Sebastian Manai, helps oil field operators eliminate spills and stop methane leaks, etc. But the article is about predictive analytics. Where is it going to happen? What's going to happen? How bad is it going to be? Zach Wynn over at Massachusetts Institute of Technology put the article together for SciTechDaily.com. And it says one of the most common problems is spills of the salty brine, which is a toxic byproduct of pumping oil. By the way, that actually call it ultimately it's called dead earth or barren earth because the salty brine kills all of the soil and nothing can bond again to it. Another is over or under pumping, which can lead to machine failure and methane leaks. Then there are extreme weather events, which range from winter frost to blazing heat. That can put equipment out of commission for months. One of the wildest problems, Sebastian Manai, it says SM. I don't know what that means. 14. So I suppose. Oh,
Master of Science? Maybe?
yeah, masters.
It may be a
14
different
and then
convention
PhD
in that particular country.
Yeah, has encountered are hogs that pop open oil tanks with their snoots to enjoy on-demand oil baths. Wow.
Okay, I have not heard of that one.
So Manai uses analytics to detect and respond to problems while optimizing the operation of their machinery to prevent the issues from occurring in the first place. So he created a company called Amplified Industries. Pretty interesting. So if you can predict where something might be happening, and I would probably suspect that it's mechanical issues, and so if you can predict based on usage and deterioration rates and other environmental modifications, changes, variables, you could go out there and check this instead of having to check everything constantly. You can say targeted, go do this, go do that.
Right. I mean, that's probably more efficient for keeping operations running, or it depends on which part of the process it's in.
Yeah.
But
And
you
all
can
of the
probably
pipes,
detect it sooner.
yeah, exactly. So all of the pipes and pumps really should have sensors on it that notify when a drop of pressure takes place, but that doesn't always translate into reality because people don't care if the environment gets destroyed as long as the oil's flowing.
Well, that is out there, but I don't know how widely adopted it is.
Well, yeah, that's my point. Yeah. So it says to build a better oil field monitoring system, and I received support from the MIT Sandbox Innovation Fund and the Venture Mentoring Service. He also participated in the Delta 5 Summer Accelerator at the Martin Trust Center for MIT Entrepreneurship, the FUSE program during IAP, and the MIT I-Core program, and took a number of classes at the MIT Sloan School of Management. So kind of a super achiever. In 2019, Amplified Industries, which operated under the name Acoustic Wells, I know that name from somewhere. Okay, I'll have to look.
We might have had another article about it or something, although
Acoustic
not that
Wells
far back.
Sounds really interesting. Anyway, sorry to get distracted. Anyway, they won the MIT $100,000 entrepreneurship competition. So obviously this works. So good on them. Please keep doing it so that you can save the planet. This article, by the way, is quite a lot longer, but we tend to summarize to some degree a lot of this. But this might actually
cover the whole article.
This might actually end up in Technology Today tomorrow. We'll see. This is one of the weekly shows, and we tend not to duplicate this kind of content. Sometimes we take the weekly or the daily show stuff and incorporate it for a longer discussion here in the weekly shows.
This might be a good one or something like it for, oh goodness, I can't think of the name of it.
Technology
Patreon.
Today. No? Which one?
Patreon to do
an
in-depth
right.
discussion of something like this.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because there's a lot of examples of this kind of technology that's sitting out there that people may not appreciate. Let's keep going, though. This next article is over in ohmTown Daily as well. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe I don't want a Rosey the Robot after all. This article is over at The Verge. As a child in the 1980s, their perception of a smart home had been dominated by the idea that one day we'll all have a Rosey the Robot style robot roaming around our homes, dusting the mantelpiece, preparing dinner, and eliminating your enemy. No, that's not what it says. It says unloading the dishwasher. Sorry. But maybe Jennifer Pattison Toohey says, maybe I don't want a Rosey the Robot after all, because of the deck statement here says, Boston Dynamics' latest, deliberately creepy humanoid robot has me rethinking my smart home robot dreams. This has been said by every single person that seems to have talked about this.
And that's what I don't get, because if they're really trying to lead the way, ingratiate robots, etc., anybody who looks at it seems to have the reaction. So what kind of testing did they do of that behind the scenes? Even the face, which that could have been a somewhat easy change. I mean, the mechanics are a whole different matter.
So the way that this robot wakes up and then stands up, it bends its legs over its back backwards, stands up, and when it stands up, it pops like its spine is twisting in a different direction, and then
And it walks backward,
clicks.
or what's
Yeah.
perceived as backwards. I mean, that's part of the problem. It's doing too many unexpected things.
Yeah, and albeit it does wander off like it wants to go kick somebody's ass, it just comes across as really creepy. What I want
Now,
is
see,
that.
is that exactly? There's a picture of a really cute robot. It looks round and not dangerous, and
Yeah. So the author is sitting there going with his bipedal hardcore yogi moves. Atlas is an a new all-electric humanoid robot from Boston Dynamics. And while the next generation of the company's Atlas program is designed for commercial use, they tout it as being capable of doing work that's too dangerous, too hard, too dull, too dirty. For us humans, 3 of those things definitely apply to the home. No, all 4.
well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The mayoral mansion is too dangerous. It's too hard. It is kind of dull. And wow, is it dirty. Anyway, it says, as a child of the aforementioned 80s, artificially intelligent robots are the stuff of nightmares. The Terminator series embedded the fear of the robot uprising. And you can keep on going. iRobot had the same fear.
Pretty much any movie with robots that's not something like a Disney movie.
Yeah, AI, synthetics from Terminator, not Terminator, but Blade Runner, Westworld, just again and again. Why are we hell-bent on anthropomorphizing even these little cute guys? We call, oh, they're so cute. It's like a... but go look at Fallout. Brain on a Roomba.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's bad. Here, hold still. I want to stick you with this. Don't run. I am your friend. That kind of thing. So they say, I have more experience than most with home robots. Amazon's Astro, which is that. This thing is an always-on robot. Rolled into their house for 2 weeks. They played with the LEQ companion robot, tested dozens of robot vacuums and mops, and currently have 2 robot lawnmowers patrolling their garden. Not to that chase the kids off. Just kidding, kids. But yeah, don't play around on my hair. Anyway, not to mention the various smart speakers scattered around their home, etc. If there is a robot uprising on the cards, they'll be the first to go, because they've got robots all over the place.
Well, that's because they're like a smart home reporter or something. It said up at the top.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. They say anthropomorphizing appliances, imbuing them with human characteristics and human-like intelligence, brings with it a whole host of complicated challenges around the nature of consciousness and the boundaries of humanity. This is not something that the author wants to deal with when it comes to a dishwasher. Yeah, I don't know. I love the idea of ultra-realistic humanoid, bipedal, etc., much like Westworld, right? But I have a problem with the idea of AGI embedding itself into said robot and gaining sentience, and maybe I piss it off. I don't know. It hallucinates. Maybe it'll hallucinate that I'm a threat. Those laws, the 3 laws, had better be like impossible to
Like
override.
hard coded into every robot that
Yeah.
is produced.
Yeah, you cannot rationalize your way out of it. You cannot ever harm a human, or allow through inaction harm to come to a human, even by another human. So you have to, what do they call it? Debilitate, but don't eliminate a threat. All right. This is an interesting
don't
article.
neutralize.
Yeah, that's right. You mean liquidate? Let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today, and we're running really late, folks. So, Olympic organizers unveil strategy for using artificial intelligence in sports. Olympic organizers unveiled their plans Friday to use artificial intelligence in sports, joining the global rush to capitalize on the rapidly advancing technology. Kelvin Chan over at techexplore.com put this article together, and it says that the International Olympic Committee outlined its agenda for taking advantage of AI. Officials said it could be used to help identify promising athletes, personalize training methods, and make the games fairer by improving judging. Help identify promising athletes. Oh, God, that's so dystopian. You're right on the cusp of eugenics.
Like Gattaca or something.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. Today, we're making another step to ensure the uniqueness of the Olympic Games and the relevance of sport. To do this, we have to be the leaders of change, the IOC president Thomas Bach said at a press event in the Velodrome at the Olympic Park in London, which hosted the Summer Games in 2012. Quote, "We are determined to exploit the vast potential of AI in a responsible way." Yes, like helping to identify promising athletes.
Yeah, that I don't like. I mean, if they want to have an existing athlete and analyze their, whatever, it depends, their throw metrics, or their something, and improve that, sure. But, yeah.
Oof. You mean determined to exploit the vast potential of AI in a responsible way, like using AI to find out that brownie is related to an attorney that's related to a law firm that's related to a lawsuit that they're not a part of?
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah. I don't even need to read the rest of it, but I think that it's interesting, so definitely follow this link. Just imagine the IOC knows that your kid is a superlative athlete because AI has been watching them from the bleachers.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another problem here, right? We're talking about a lot of people that are minors. I mean, this would be creepy enough if it was geared at adult athletes, but
God.
That's not necessarily the case for the Olympics.
You're just a statement away from saying that we need, not you, but this whole idea is just a statement away from saying you have the right genetics to be. Yeah.
Let's not.
Let's go to the last article, though. It says this week in AI, when open source isn't so open. Plop that in there. This is an article that's over at TechCrunch. Keeping up with industry as fast moving as AI is a tall order, so an AI can do it for you. Here's a handy roundup of recent stories. So like the last show, I tacked on kind of a summary set of articles put together by one of the sources. It's over at TechCrunch, so let's jump right on over. Kyle Wiggers over at TechCrunch.com put this article together. What is that?
Now I know why there's a llama. I was like, why is there a llama? Oh, I know why.
So this week, Meta
Meta's
released
thing has been llama.
Llama Llama. So Meta released the latest in its Llama series of generative AI models, Llama 38B and Llama 370B. Capable of analyzing and writing text, the models are open sourced, Meta said, intended to be a foundational piece of systems that developers design with their unique goals in mind. So it says there's only one problem. They refer to it as open source, but the Llama 3 models aren't really open source, at least not in the strictest definition. And there is a strict definition of open source. Open source implies that developers can use the models how they choose, unfettered, but in the Llama 3, as with Llama 2, Meta imposed certain licensing restrictions. For example, Llama models can't be used to train other models, and app developers with over 700 million monthly users, wow, uses, it must be uses, not users. You're telling me that there are developers out there that use Llama 2
Yeah,
and 3?
I think you're right.
Anyway, yeah, so must request a special license from Meta. Debates over the definition of open source aren't new, but as companies in the AI space play fast and loose with the term, it's injecting fuel into long-running philosophical arguments. Yeah, and we'll run into that again and again and again. So it's not true open source, and who knows what other, elements are in there. Can you use it freely for commercial purposes? No, not really, because if you have over 700 million monthly users, or maybe uses, you have to request a special license from Meta. So once you get big enough, you have to pop onto a Meta's radar, and the duty to perform will change. Because what if Meta says, well, you have over 700 million, so now we want a piece of the action?
Well, absolutely. Um,
There's no
I don't
meeting
know.
of the
I mean,
minds in this
this
contract.
correct, and this is, I don't know. We keep talking about like the big tech involved in things like AI in terms of, who's setting the rules and who's it benefiting, etc.
Yeah. And you'll be able to read more of these. They put together a large array of articles about this. But I really like their last paragraph here. Instead of democratizing, it's not really the last, but it's a paragraph before the list. Instead of democratizing AI, quote unquote, open source AI projects, especially those from big tech companies, tend to entrench and expand centralized power, say the study's co-authors. That's good to keep in mind the next time a major quote unquote open source model release comes around. And I've always said this, if you have to rely on somebody else, then you're in for a world of hurt when they decide that you're no longer of value to them. Look at Reddit and the countless developers that leaned into Reddit. They dedicated solutions, fed into Reddit, and then Reddit pulled the plug on them. Summarily dismissed them because they were a burden on the profitability to stakeholders, shareholders, right before their IPO. They cut the fat. So I think that's really what this is about. They want to be able to monitor the people that are using this and any people that are a great benefactor to them, or the other way around. If Meta is the benefactor for these people, then they can get a piece of the action.
Right, and if the users really like certain sources or whatever, we all know where that's going to probably go.
Yeah, exactly. So, really neat article. Thanks, Kyle Wiggers, for posting this over on TechCrunch.com.
Yeah, TechCrunch always has good things. And I mean, at the end of the compilation, there are multiple other things to
Many.
check out as well. Exactly.
Yep. So right before the list is that last statement, but there's an article from Carnegie Mellon that makes it clear about their particular perspective on these open source. If it isn't open source, i.e. unfettered access to it, and some of the caveats of open source, there's different types of open source, right? But true open source means here it is, and you can do with it what you want, etc. Like the the tools that are going to be used in Mix War have unfettered access to it. I can use it for commercial purposes or personal purposes. I can mix whatever I generate, but the only way I can mix somebody else's is if I give permission. And we'll get to that tomorrow. That said, we always get into the party bus and race down Main Street, take a look at what might be on Reality Hacker's updates. I'm not sure if we've aggregated anything specific into this, but it says House passes TikTok ban bill that's on fast track. So interesting.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see if that goes through. So still has to go through the Senate.
Several weeks ago, I was giving a talk about this along with other things, and I said that it's not going to happen. Regulatory capture within the Senate is not going to allow it to happen. We'll see if I'm right. My prediction about OpenAI releasing a sentient AI, giving an announcement, I think it hasn't happened yet, but I think that there's some turmoil there. It's totally made up in my head. I've got no insider information, but I love a good conspiracy, and maybe I can start the rumor. Anyway, come on back, everybody. I'm Merwat, and up there and all around is the sentient AI from the future. You want to say ciao, baby? Don't say that.
No, but I will say goodnight, and we will see you back here shortly for Wanted.
Oh, yeah. You want to do 8:30? Okay.
Yep.
15 minutes. We'll reset. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye. Help, my AI-powered Roomba is eating me.